You guys know that I think, Alan Ritchson is remarkable. I think he's a great on-screen presence. His acting has gotten a lot better. I'm not going to pretend he's an Academy Award caliber kind of actor. He's not yet, but he's been getting quite good, and he's solid in the things they put him in. Like, he's great in Reacher. And I've speculated, and a lot of people speculate for a long time, I think he might be the guy to play Batman. Well, Alan Ritchson was directly asked about it in an interview with Variety. And what he said was both disappointing, but very exciting at the same time, where he's saying he's probably not going to be Batman. Oh, but you're going to see me in the DCU. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety who wrote the following. The interviewer asked, speaking of what you've got coming, there are some Batman rumors doing the rounds online following some comments from James Gunn about him being a fan of yours. Are you aware of these? To which Alan Ritchson said, well, it's not rumor that James Gunn is a fan. He said it himself. And I am a fan of James Gunn. Absolutely. I don't want to mislead people. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. I don't want to mislead people. Words have been exchanged about Batman, but I strongly don't think that Batman is in my future. I do think there is something in my future with DC, and I would like that to remain true. So, couple of nuggets to pull out. Number one, should be noted because I know somebody is typing this right now. He didn't say he 100% wasn't going to be Batman. He just said, I don't think I'm going to be Batman. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, I'm going to just take him for what he probably meant, which was, yeah, me and James Gunn have talked. We've even talked about Batman, which I think is really interesting. But I don't think Batman's in my future. Okay, so there's the one thing that might be able to put to bed the whole conversation about Alan Ritchson maybe playing Batman. However, he goes on to say, I'm a fan of his. He's a fan of mine. We have talked about it, and I think I'm going to be in the DCU. And I'd like for that to stay true, so I'm not going to say anything else. But he's saying he's probably going to end up in the DCU. He's going to be a great addition to the DCU. In whatever, as long as they don't make him Wonder Woman, I think he's going to be great in whatever he goes. Although the thought of him wearing Wonder Woman's outfit is kind of chuckle-inducing. Maybe that would be fun. And maybe that is something that James Gunn would do. But let's assume that he's not going to play Wonder Woman. It does get the imagination going, though, Rob, about, okay, he's saying he's going to be in the DCU. Him and James Gunn talk Batman, but he doesn't think he's going to be Batman. That leads us into the question of, well, then who? Who would a guy like Alan Ritchson play? And by the way, we're talking about James Gunn. James Gunn is a director who, you and I have talked about this a lot recently, who has an incredible ability to take a performer who may not be an Academy level thespian, like a Dave Bautista, and he's done it with John Cena, and find a way to put those actors in positions where their strengths get highlighted and their weaknesses as actors at the moment get completely protected and hidden. And we saw him do it with Dave Bautista. We saw him do it with John Cena. And I think Alan Ritchson, from a starting point, is a better actor than either of those guys. So I think he could do something really special with it.
Hey guys, John here. If you're dying for the next batch of Wednesday Season 2 to drop on Netflix, then I'll let you in on a secret. The Wednesday Season 2 official WoCast is already here. Prepare to dive deeper into the mysteries of Wednesday with the ultimate companion video podcast. Join the frightfully funny Caitlin Riley, along with her producer, Thing, as she sits down with the marvelous cast and crew. Together, they'll unravel shocking twists, dissect the dynamics lurking beneath, unearth the deep Addams Family lore, and answer all of your lingering questions that simply refuse to stay buried. Guests include Emma Myers, Joy Sunday, Steve Buscemi, Fred Armiston, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and of course, Jenna Ortega. With 8 delightfully dark episodes to devour, you'll be drawn deeper into the haunting halls of Nevermore Academy than ever before. But be careful, you know where curiosity often leads. The Wednesday Season 2 official WoCast is available now in audio and video on Todoom.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts. You've been warned.
So, number one, what stood out to you the most out of the comments that Alan made? And then let's go into imagination land for a minute. Who could an actor like Alan Ritchson, saying he's going to be in the DCU? Okay. Who are some types of characters you could see him maybe fitting into those roles?
Well, it's, look, I think that the thing about Batman is Alan Ritchson has the physicality of Batman.
Yes, he does.
But I think he needs to have a little bit more acting range to play the Bruce Wayne elements of Batman. But knowing James Gunn, there are so many interesting characters in the DC universe that he could pick to play. Now, we have a Hawk Girl in the DC universe.
Yes, we do.
I could see a guy like him being Hawkman because he's got the chest and wearing that thing. I mean, I don't know if they're going to go there, and I don't know if it's going to be Hawkman from Thanagar, because Thanagar it's in the DC universe, Thanagar is a big deal. Somebody like Adam Strange, who is a science fiction DC character who is adjacent to, say, the JLA. But I mean, there's a look. It would be a little meta. Aquaman. He looks more like a traditional. Didn't he play Aquaman, or he's going to play Aquaman in Smallville?
No, he played Aquaman in Smallville. He played Hawk of Hawk and Dove in Teen Titans.
That's right. Right.
A lot of people have been saying, I've seen in the live chat saying, if you watch Blue Mountain State, he could be a Booster Gold. I mean, that's not so. That's not a terrible idea either.
No. I mean, as a big, you'd definitely. He could play Booster Gold. Sure, he's bigger and beefier than Booster Gold, but there's a lot of, there's so many different, I think about the Justice Society of America, if we're going to have those characters, all those classic characters. He could be a new version of Dr. Fate. There's so many people that he could play. I love, that was another thing about Black Adam. I love the portrayal of the Justice Society.
Oh, so did I.
I love the Hawkman, and that was great.
He was wonderful.
He was great. So again, it's hard for me to say. I'd have to sit with who's who in the DC universe, because I bet it's somebody that we haven't, somebody off the beaten track. That somebody it's the equivalent of a member of the Suicide Squad, of James Gunn's Suicide Squad, a superhero version of that. I don't know if he's going to play one of the big, say, five.
Well, are we over limiting it by saying it's got to be a superhero?
Oh, no. I definitely think a villain could be on the offense. He could play Deathstroke. He could be the Terminator.
Whenever we bring up Deathstroke, all I do is lament about the Joe Manganiello, the fact that we never got Joe as Deathstroke. I think he would have, and the plans that Ben Affleck had, I think he would have been a great Deathstroke with
they could still take that script and have Ben Affleck direct it.
Remember, we've heard from people in the industry who have read the script, and we never have.
No, I haven't read it.
But we've heard from people like comic book veterans, studio people who have read that script, said it was the best Batman script they ever read.
I want to read that Batman script so bad, and I've asked people, I'm like, does anybody have it? So if you have it, send me your scripts.
Let's look for a second, though, at the idea of villains. Okay, so there's Deathstroke. That would be one. I've often brought up a Batman villain I would love to see on screen is KG Beast. I know I like that character more than a lot of other people do. Some people look, again, at Alan Ritchson, and I get it, and they think maybe a Bane.
Yeah, I just don't think it's too... But then you never know. Look, one of my favorite DC villains, because I'm a Teen Titans guy, is Brother Blood. Brother Blood has one of my favorite comic, certainly one of my favorite villain costumes of all time. But lean into it more. You got to make it different because there is going to be Teen Titans. So,
Oh my God. I got to bring this one up, but I think I lost it. Who said it? Somebody in the live chat. And I feel bad that I seem to have lost it. I cannot find who did it. Oh, here it is. Legacy of Kane Legion said, and I love this idea. I hadn't even thought about it. Love this idea. Azrael. If you guys know the story.
That's a great idea.
If you guys know the story of Nightfall.
Yeah.
It's the classic, because talking about Bane, it's the classic story of Bane breaking the Batman. Now, in that story, we are all familiar with, because they kind of played it in the Dark Knight Rises, where Bane breaks Batman's back. Batman goes away for a bit. then comes back and takes out Bane and reclaims himself. Now, in the comics, though, there's a very important middle piece to that story. That while Batman is out of commission, he takes the character Azrael and gives him the mantle of the Bat.
Yeah.
And he becomes a different kind of Batman, a darker Batman, a more violent Batman, a Batman who at one point messes up Robin.
Yeah.
Messes up Robin. And then when Bruce does come back before, trying to take out Bane when Bruce comes back, the big thing he has to confront is Azrael to take back the mantle again. Azrael later on becomes integrated back into the Bat family and stuff like that. But, woo! Can you picture this guy?
That would be in
as
that
Azrael?
in that outfit.
In that outfit? And maybe Robin getting in his face or a Nightwing getting say, this isn't how Bruce would do it. Well, Bruce ain't here. Sort of thing. Okay, so my pick is Azrael, which I don't think we've ever had a live action adaptation of it. If you had to pick one villain, Rob, one villain that maybe in a DC universe Alan Ritchson could play, who would that be for you? Who would be the one you would pick?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, if you wanted to go in a certain way, you could make him Brainiac.
That would be a way out of left field pick.
It would be way out of left field. But it would just be, I could see James Gunn doing something like that, making him. But again, it doesn't look like the Brainiac that people, depending on how they want to do it,
right?
Is I don't know if it's going to be more like the Borg and he's going to be interchangeable or something. But no, I think he needs to play. If he's going to play a villain, he needs to be a villain that has huge physicality. That somebody like a Bane,
right? Somebody likened unto that on that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Alan Ritchson has just dropped a couple of big ones on us. Number one, that he says, yep, me and James Gunn have talked. We're fans of each other. And we've talked about Batman, but I don't think I'm going to be Batman. But you're probably going to see me in the DCU. What do you think that means? Who do you think we could see him play? Do you think he's playing coy about Batman? I mean, after all, he didn't say 100% he wouldn't be Batman, but I don't think it will be, even though that's why I'd love to see him play. Who could you see him playing in the new James Gunn DCU? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.